Fourth part of the interview with Yael Eini, we'll be talking about most common issues addressed by Karmic Constellations and curses and vows. Make sure you stay to the end to see the full list, what you study when you go to Karmic Constellation Course with Yael.
If I ask you to name the things that people most commonly come to you with, would it be common relationships, health, finances, or could Karmic Constellations help with physical health or even mental illnesses?
So most common is relationship. Me and my mom, past life, like I can't stand her, I want to see our relationship past life, or me and my kids. But it can also be couple relationship. I also work with couple about their karmic relationship, which is very interesting. Money stuff or finance stuff. And yeah, I think there are things about physical stuff, illnesses. When people tried all kinds of other stuff or they feel their illness is from past life. I don't work on mental stuff. Like psychosis and stuff, I just don't work on them. But I will say that sometimes depression can be rooted from previous lifetimes. So depression can go to past life. I had this client once that she had like chronic, minor, sustainable depression. And we were working on her not ability to fall asleep. And I was sure it's going to be family, but 10 minutes to the session, it became past life. And in past life, she was stoned by others for something she was doing, and she felt shame. So she carried this shame to this lifetime. And I was like, wow, that wasn't what I thought would come in the session. So I never know, in a way, but depression can go to past life. I will say that I haven't worked with suicidal people, but suicidal people can go to past life because many times suicide have an imprint on the soul. People mainly come for their wellness life, relationship and finance, actually. Yes.
You also include curses and vows as part of your work in Karmic Constellations, which might seem unusual and almost feels like witchcraft to most. Can you say, or maybe even it would be better if you give an example of how these curses and vows from past lives could affect us and how powerful it can be?
The way I was raised, vows and curses was witchcraft, was like, I don't believe in that. No one believed in that in my environment. It's like woohoo stuff, like non-normal people believe in that. But then when I started working with the Akashic records, I had this woman that came to me and she said, I'm looking for sustainable couple relationship. I find people, but they come and go. They don't stick. So we were placing representation to relationship, to her, to the Akashic records, and then suddenly the field was like not moving, like not people represented, but they were like stuck. Nothing happened. And I brought representation to spiritual guides, nothing moved. I brought representation to God itself, nothing moved. And then I was like, okay, what can stuck the field so badly that nothing moved? And then the client and me, we looked at each other and both together said vows. Let's bring vows. So I brought representation to a vow that stuck in the field. Immediately, everyone moved. The memory of the vow she took 3,000 years ago to God, like, you'll be my only relationship, something like that, came up. And so it's not about breaking the vow, but we are like undoing or separating the energy from previous lifetime to this lifetime. And I think 6 months later, she have a relationship. I think until today, something like 8 years later. So vows, when we give them passionately, made them passionately, saying them passionately, they run throughout the soul system and hunt us in other lifetime. Curses, the same. And also with curses, I just learned about them from the field, from facilitating a session, and then suddenly, I think it was the soul, she was really mean to the client. Like, I don't like it, I want to kick it, I want to kill it. And like, it's the client's soul. I heard about, I don't like this person, I don't want to look at it, but kick it, kill it, like evil energy. I was like, what brings evil energy to the field? And I was like, curses, let's try curses. And the moment I put representation to the curse in the field, the soul become okay. She's a loving soul, she's okay. So only evil energy go to the curse. And curses are the same, they go throughout, and both curses and vows, they are preventing us from fulfilling our life. And we don't even know that they are there.
Among the topics studied by Karmic Constellations are relationships, money and health from a karmic perspective, Akashic records, soul lessons and soul contracts, soul fragments retrieval, vows and curses, counsel between lives, entities and parasites, oracles, and soul origin.